it's all going off on the Mannor today. So yesterday the RSJs turned up. They're now sitting just there. Got another one just sitting just there. James is back. He's doing the plastering on the downstairs toilet. I'm going to be working in the kitchen. We've got to hang the door. We've got lots to do today, ain't we, James? He's just going to crack on. He'll get the jobs done. We've got a bit of rewiring to do. I've got to isolate some taps. Cool. We've got plenty to keep us busy today. Today, all this is coming out, a whole lot. So I've got to isolate the pipes there. We've got to sort out, make sure the rads aren't connected. Got to be a bit careful of that because that's still connected, but all these works are coming out. And then we'll be working in, say hello, Vick. Well, this will be our future kitchen until the new one turns up. Then I've got to get in here, I've got to empty all this out because these walls are coming down in about 7 days' time. So we come into the entrance. James has just SBR'd the whole walls there, so these are all going to get skimmed out. He's already beaded up around these two parts here, which will be really good because I've got some of this left over that I'm going to put on here as little shelves. And if we come out, we're going to go upstairs. Come here, I've stripped all the gloss off the old frames. They are slightly different because the stops are actually moulded as part of the actual frame, whereas normally you just stick them on now. So I'm not going to get rid of them, we'll keep them. Sorted out the hinges, just put some filler in, got to wait for that to go off. And then that'll be done. Door's all done now, nice and smooth. So I need to just chop in the hinges now, put some primer on it, get it hanging again. So lots going on. It's Saturday today. I hope we get most of it done today. If not, I'll go into tomorrow. Absolutely no messing about today. We've got to get these down, ready for the RSJs. I'll tell you what, I wish kitchens went up as quickly as they went out. Kitchen done, out. So now I just need to work out where the wiring's going to go. To be honest with you, most of it can come out apart from the sockets, because what I'm going to have is going to have LED strips going around the ceiling rather than having downlighters or anything like that. The great thing about the LEDs is I only need one main going in, one going out. The actual switch itself is remote and app-based, and they look really, really good. Tiles on the floor have got to come up, and then somehow I've got to work out getting all the floor at level ground, because what I'm standing on here now is about ½ an inch higher than the rest of the house, conveniently. So do I bring the house up ½ an inch, or do I bring this subfloor down ½ an inch? Have to see what's underneath it first. So as the kitchen's been ripped out, I went back upstairs to mess about with this door. So now I've absolutely sanded it down as best as I possibly can. I'm now about to mark out for the hinges. As a general rule, I go 3 times the hinges on the top and 4 times hinges on the bottom. So I'm just marking out now. Then on with the router, what I do is I go roughly round where I've actually marked out, and then I'll chop out the remaining parts of the wood with my Stanley blade. I just think this gives a really nice sharp cut because it's a sharp blade. Just trim it up and go from there. Following that, I go over to the other side. That's one snug little hinge. So just like I said, at the top of the door I do 3 times the length of the hinge. On the bottom I do 4 times the length of the hinge. This way it gives sort of a nice, good, stable sort of foundation for the door to swing on. And another little tip is, once you actually get to the measurement that you want, when you do your first line on the hinge, move your hinge just slightly over the line of what you've just drawn, and then draw the rest in, and then router. This way it allows for a real tight, snug fit. And again, use the router and then chop it out with a blade. So because I'm dealing with old doors, old frames, and I'm swapping them around, all I use is just a leverage of a hammer and just anything to push it up to the very top, and then I can make small adjustments on this part here where I'm going to chop out the hinge, or ready for the hinge. So yeah, so let's get the chisel out because we can't use a router on these. Get it all lined up and see where we end up. Okay, we've got her swinging, and apart from a few little bit of just adjustments, I think this will be absolutely fine. It's not staying up here, I'm only putting it up there just to make sure everything's in place. So now I need to get it back off, I need to prime the door, I need to clean it all up, and then eventually we can get this sitting here permanently. My door restoration has been scuppered just for a little while. So Vic was quick to point out that if we was to keep the door as it is, and because we had to bring this wall out a little bit because of where the chimney breast was, that this sits far too back. And she is right, reluctantly. So I've got a choice. I could put a new liner in, which I don't really want to do. I want to keep this. So what I might do is just frame out another almost an inch, and then frame out the stop just another inch. So when you do shut this door, everything sits flush. And do you know what? I huffed and puffed, but I hate to admit it, she is right. So off to the timber yard I go, and let's frame this out. So it's 7:10. James has just left. I think it's fair to say we have put a shift in. However, we have done some really good things today. It puts us ahead of the game. See, if we just open this door, not you're going to be able to see very well, but James has fully plastered the downstairs loo. The result, walk through, while James has been busy doing that, I have absolutely ripped out the whole of the kitchen. Gas engineer came around, disabled the gas for us so we could get that all done. So I've ripped it all out, it looks an absolute mess. And I've also got to rip all this up still. And once we ripped a few tiles up, we realised that there's tiles under the tiles, and I need to get down to this level so the whole floor is unison. Let me just let the dog out for a second. All right, Pumpkin, off you go. Right, there we go. So now we are just fully operational in here. That is going to be our kitchen. And if we go upstairs, and we come into this room, we've bonded out a little bit here. I have got the door swinging. Alas, as I last said, it's not going to stay swinging for long because I've got to get all this sorted out and framed up so the door sits more flush. But, you know, we're getting there. All in all, it's been a very productive and good day, but it's never ending. So that's it for me really for now. I've got to do a little bit more wiring in the kitchen, get them all disabled so we can smash the walls down. So next video I make will probably be when we get the RSJs in. So have a good weekend, put your feet up, have a few beers. I certainly am. I need a bath, I need to relax, I need to chill. Take it easy.